Now, to tell this story, a little history lesson is required. Just over 100 years ago, there was a little town in my state called Jerusalem. And that town was purchased by the power company. And the people who lived there had to relocate. Once the town was emptied, they flooded the town with water from a nearby river, submerging countless homes, 3 farms, 1 church, and 2 cemeteries. They then called this new lake Shining Light Lake. Shining Light Lake is huge and touches 8 different towns, all with various marinas, parks, and gated lakeside communities, almost all of which the company provided security for. And all of the company's Shining Light sites fell under my boots at least once. Most of them, many times. I told you all that to set the stage, as this story will continue from one of those gated communities. Let's call it the Knolls. The Knolls was probably my least favorite site on Shining Light Lake. The people were snobby, and their kids were nightmares. And without fail, I'd never make it to midnight without having to resist the urge to smack some moron. But I digress. One of my favorite things to do after midnight would be go down to the boat launch area and listen to the lake. This lake did not have the same eerie feeling that I've described from Boar Lake. No. Lake Shining Star felt quite normal most of the time. I did, however, on a few occasions wonder if lurking beneath its waves were some bigger things than fish and game admitted to. On one such occasion, I was in the parking area of the boat launch, walking towards the docks. I heard a great splash. My first thought was a pelican, or a goose, or some other large waterfowl. But there was not one in sight anywhere. I walked out to the end of the dock, looked out into the lake, listening to the waves lap against the dock. Then I heard another great splash out in the darkness. I whipped out my flashlight and pointed it in the direction of the sound, but all I could see was proof that the water had been disturbed, but no sign of what had done so. This would go on for about an hour, with the sound and what was making it always just outside my light. It was getting to be about time for me to head back to the shack and meet my relief. So I turned and headed back down the dock. When I reached the end of the dock, I heard another huge splash. It sounded like it was right behind me almost. I turned around and ignited my light in time to see water pouring off the end of the dock as if a 5-gallon bucket had been thrown on it. But no sign of what had done it. That's just as well, though, because I don't think I wanted to see what made that splash anyway. I made my way back to the shack to meet my relief. I passed on notes, obviously excluding the weirdness. As I left, part of me wondered if I should have told him. But then I remembered that he was a tool. And if he got attacked by a giant man-eating carp, I'd likely be rooting for the fish anyways. So, all's well. That ends okay.